इस वक्त सीधे रुक करेंगे उलान बटोर का, जहां पर मंगोलियाई संसद को संबोधित कर रहे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी।
कंस्ट्रेन ऑन मंगोलिया's right to choose its partners. We can seize the economic opportunities of the digital world and work together to make it more secure against growing cyber threats. We can use India's expertise in dairy to launch a white revolution on these vast steppes. We can work together to add value to Mongolia's Pashmina resources right here. We can create partnership for affordable modern healthcare in Mongolia. We can use our heritage of traditional medicines to improve holistic treatment in our countries and abroad. As Indians travel abroad more, Mongolia has the opportunity with its natural and spiritual wealth to become a major destination for them. More than just trade and investment, our development partnership is a reflection of our shared ideals and vision. I believe that the greatest form of this partnership is investment in the development of human resources and institutions. This gives a nation its own capacity to shoulder the responsibility for its progress. It enhances its independence of choice, and it makes progress more sustainable. We remain deeply committed to this vision. Today, I will lay the foundation stone for the expansion and upgrading of the Atal Bihari Vajpayee Center for Excellence in Information and Communication Technology. Under India's training program, Mongolia is one of our largest partners. We will increase the high-tech training slots for Mongolia from 150 to 200. We will also establish an India-Mongolia joint school. Later today, I will hand over the Bhavatron equipment that can help treat cancer in Mongolia. This will be the first demonstration of our cooperation in the civil nuclear sector. Finally, today conveyed to Prime Minister our decision to provide $1 billion line of credit to develop institutions, infrastructure and human resources in Mongolia. Our security cooperation is growing. We can learn a great deal from each other. No one can doubt the well-known skills of Mongols. We are proud to conduct defense exercise together, and I am pleased that we have signed agreements today to cooperate more closely on border security and cyber security. We have also agreed that India will help establish a cyber security center in Mongolia's defense and security establishment. But the real strength of our relationship lies in the goodwill between our people and in the faith that unites us across the distances. It is a power that can do more than just draw our two countries closer. It can help advance peace, stability and prosperity in Asia and the Pacific region. There was a time when the messenger of Lord Buddha linked Asia with his message and love and compassion. The shifting sands of time have not buried their footprints because the value of their message never diminishes. Wherever have traveled in Asia, from the edge of Pacific to the center of the Indian Ocean, from the sea of shores of Southeast Asia to the lofty heights of the Himalaya, from the thick and forests of the tropics to the expanse of these steppes. I see thriving monuments and temples dedicated to Lord Buddha. The Eightfold Path of Lord Buddha prescribes not just the path to happiness of individuals, but also a guide to the well-being of societies and nations. It is a message of kindness, love, and compassion for all. It is a lesson of deepest respect for human beings and human rights, for faith in peace and non-violence. This is a path that tells us to reach out to the weakest and the poorest in our societies. It is a wisdom that sees the interdependence of all things in the universe and the virtue of simplicity. Therefore, it is a path to a more sustainable planet. It holds lessons for the world that is threatened by the excesses of consumption. It is a path to a more sustainable planet. It holds lessons for the world that is threatened by the excesses of consumption and disharmony between man and nature. As in the prosperous West, Asia of rising incomes and aspirations must remember and follow this message. Above all, it is a guide for a relationship of peace, equality, respect and cooperation between nations, small and large, weak and powerful. It is a call for each of us as individuals and as nations to assume the universal responsibility to mankind and our planet. It inspires us to think of common good and all nations. The teachings of Lord Buddha are reflected in the principles of democracy. The path of righteousness is based on freedom of mind, liberty of thought, liberty of action, and liberty of speech. These are the foundations of democracy. It is defined by recognition of interdependence, acceptance of diversity, and belief in coexistence. Its essence is the freedom of human beings, faith in dialogue, rule of law, and resolution of differences through peaceful means. So if we follow the right path of the Master, it will also be natural to walk on the path of democratic values. Here in Mongolia, we see the union of these two ideas and two ideals. I say this to Asia. Whatever forms of government each nation choose, however we define ourselves as a state, we can still apply the principles of democracy in our engagement with each other. Whatever path we have chosen, whatever be the history of our disputes or the nature of our claims, we are linked by the common spiritual heritage across a vast arc of Asia. The convergence of Buddhism and democracy provides us a path to build an Asia of peace and cooperation, harmony and equality. This is a region that has woken up to its destiny. No region in the world has seen so much progress in the last half century as Asia. No age has seen transformation on such scale in one generation as our continent. This is the region of ancient wisdom and youthful dynamism. It is a continent that is expected to lead the world in the 21st century. Yet, this is also a region that lies on the uneasy edge of uncertainty, of unsettled questions, of unresolved disputes and unforgotten memories. Across Asia's diversity, we also see growing disparity of hope and opportunities. Asia has given much to the world through the ages. It now has the responsibility to shape its future. So now, more than our own requirements, I'm sure we will be able to do the requirement which the Asia wants from us and the world thinks about us. And I'm sure with this, our spiritual background, and with this, our extraordinary quality of the mankind, we can serve to the world and to the society. And I'm sure that the path of righteousness is based on freedom of mind, liberty and thought. I'm sure that whatever we have decided, and then in the widening course of history, our own cultures, literature and art become interconnected, and it continues to shine in the richness of India's diversity and culture. Today, Indians and Mongolians are telling the world that the bond of hearts and minds have the strength to overcome the barriers of distances. And I'm sure that this will improve the all of our spirit, and we will continue to give. And this is a token of our reverence, of our shared spiritual heritage and respect for our friendship. As the sapling grows, it will be an emblem of our growing partnership. In time, it should also become a symbol of humanism in the world and conservation of our planet. I thank you once again. Thank you. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, ma kaschid dukh bhagavad. May happiness be bestowed on all. And when I entered the parliament, when I saw the symbol, I found a special connectivity with this parliament. There is a symbol, lotus is there. And we're happy to know that my party's symbol is also a lotus. So it's a very special connectivity with you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
संबोधित कर रहे थे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी, और जो स्वागत हुआ, भव्य स्वागत हुआ, उसके लिए शुक्रिया अदा किया। और साथ ही शुरुआत की कि संडे के दिन, छुट्टी के दिन संसद का सत्र बुलाया गया, छुट्टी के दिन वो संसद को संबोधित कर रहे हैं, इससे उन्हें गर्व महसूस हो रहा है। और साथ ही 60 साल का जो राजनयिक जुड़ाव है, इस जुड़ाव को याद किया, एक नए रिश्ते की शुरुआत की बात उन्होंने कही। साथ ही $1 बिलियन की मदद देगा भारत मंगोलिया के आर्थिक विस्तार के लिए, इस बात का उन्होंने जिक्र किया। साइबर सिक्योरिटी के लिए एक सेंटर वहां पर खोलने की बात कही, अंतरिक्ष के क्षेत्र में मिलकर कुछ काम कर सकते हैं, ये इस बात का उन्होंने जिक्र किया। और साथ ही ये कहा कि मंगोलिया महान लोगों का देश है, महान परंपरा है मंगोलिया की।